Welcome back to episode 47 of On the Wild. I'm Riley Keenan with me, Anuj Basker.
Yep.
Just a preface before the episode starts. We're looking to change the jersey before every episode, but he's got 13 goals in his last 9 games since we put it up, so it's staying up until he doesn't score.
Going crazy.
I'll say that now. But on the topic of snipers,
yes.
yeah, Stephen Curry.
Yeah.
Broke the 3-point record for, he got 2,974? Yeah.
It's more now, but
yeah,
that
77,
was
I
what he
think.
needed to break the record.
Yeah. And couldn't have done it at a better place, Madison Square Garden.
I would even argue that it was better to do it there than in Golden State. I know in front of a home crowd it would have been cool for them, but
yeah.
For me, I think New York is the best place to do anything, really.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the greats and what they've done in Madison Square Garden. Kobe scored 60. LeBron had almost 50-point triple-double one time.
Yeah.
Jordan, I think he had 54 one time in a regular season game.
It's a perfect moment.
Yeah, it's just where all the stars come out to.
Yeah.
I mean, Steph even had his coming out party in New York. I forget what year. I think it was 2014. So New York is really the best place to do it. Ray Allen was there sitting courtside. Reggie Miller was doing commentary on the game. It was just a perfect moment. Spike Lee is there. Of course he was.
Sitting on the floor.
Yeah. But it was just a great moment, solidifying that he's the greatest shooter of all time. I didn't need him to break the record for him to do that.
This has been known for 3 or 4 years now. But I think for him, this is what it would take for him to say it. And he finally has now said it.
Yeah.
But I respect the hell out of him for that, for just not even saying it. So many guys say they're the GOAT or say they're the best at whatever. But he's waiting till that moment in time. I think that might be LeBron, too, if he breaks the point record. But that's another day. But yeah, like you said, that the best place it probably could have been is MSG. Obviously, like his coming out party was there. It would have been cool. It probably would have been louder in Golden State, but the moment itself was bigger in MSG.
Yeah.
And
they appreciated it just as much as I feel like they would. It was a huge pop when he hit the 3.
Oh yeah, it was cool hearing him talk about it. Obviously, the tickets were ridiculous probably going into that game, but like he talked about, he had hit his first one, I think, and he was coming down the court, and you could see just everyone was already standing up, and a lot of other players would see that and start to force shots, but he didn't do that. He waited till it was the perfect moment, and when he hit it, good on. I can't remember who it was that made the foul, but good on you for fouling so that
I think it was Looney.
Looney, yeah.
May have been.
It was Kevon Looney, and everyone was able to give him the standing. Oh, that was nice to see.
They called a timeout.
Yeah, it was extended timeout too, so good on the league for that. But yeah, what a moment. I love to see. He's my favorite player, but I do think that record's going to be broken.
What?
Oh yeah, dude. Within the next 5 to 10 years, probably.
5 to 10 years.
Think about it. Stephen Curry, until his 4th year, wasn't shooting 7 threes per game. We got guys like Donovan Mitchell and Trae Young already shooting 7 threes in their rookie seasons. These guys are going to rack them up.
But they're not as efficient.
They're not as efficient, but they're going to shoot a ton. And guys like Tyler Hero already taking 6 threes a game. He's coming off the bench, and he's in his 3rd year. Like, guys are just going to be chucking him up. Someone might break the record, but it won't be more impressive. Like, Buddy Hield could break the record, but it'll be a big moment, but it won't be like as big as it was for Curry.
Buddy Hield does take like 10 threes a game.
Yeah. It won't be as efficient, it won't be as impressive, but it'll be a stat to behold. That record's going to continuously be broken just because of the way the game's played. Until it changes, we're going to see a lot of it.
I don't see any current player right now breaking it.
You don't think Trae Young can break that record? Really?
No.
I'll bet you $20 right now Trae Young eventually has that record.
In 10 years, we'll pay this bet off.
Yeah.
But that's a deal. I don't think Trae Young will break it.
I don't think he'll be the first one to break it, but I think he will break it.
I mean, who else is there?
It could be anybody, man.
Yeah.
Anybody. They're chucking up threes like it's nothing, man. Like, it's ridiculous how many threes these guys are taking. James Harden could break it. He's already 4th right now. He's like, I could be wrong. I think he's like 50 behind Reggie or something like that. He's not
definitely not that.
Maybe not 50, but he's like not too far.
Let me fact check this.
He's either 4th or he's 50 behind the guy who's 4th.
Okay.
But he's up there.
Yeah.
Because James Harden shoots a lot. But yeah, the man, right now Curry's the MVP. I'd say.
I would say so, yeah. Oh, okay, James Harden. Oh, no, you're right. He is.
What's he at?
25.09.
And what's Reggie? 25,
60.
68? Oh, okay.
So I think, he'll catch Reggie Miller. I don't know if he'll catch Ray Allen.
Yeah.
Because Ray Allen was so far ahead of Reggie.
Especially playing on Brooklyn, too. He's not going to get as much opportunity to pull up.
And you have to think, too, that Steph's not retiring tomorrow.
Exactly.
He's adding on to it.
He's going to keep growing. Yeah.
I don't think. anybody current will break it. Maybe in the future if somebody else comes along. But
yeah, there's going to be an eventual generational talent that comes in and just shoots 8 threes a game, hits 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even know. Like 20 years from now, we could see the greatest player in every sport be playing. Like, it's just going to get better.
You see a 4-point line at some point.
I hope, honestly, I want them to do it, but at the same time, I don't, because then more guys are going to take those shots, and the game's going to be less entertaining. I personally really want to get back to that mid-range game, and I thought I was seeing it in the bubble in the 2020 playoffs as well, or 2021 playoffs. It looked like, okay, like...
I mean, you saw with teams like Phoenix, even Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, big time.
Yeah. You saw the Clippers.
Yeah, and even Brooklyn does a lot. Now that KD's like in Brooklyn, they're doing it a lot. I love that game of basketball because it opens the 3-point line up a lot. It opens the paint up. When you guys are just throwing up threes, there's not as much of a big man play. That's why I loved seeing Jokic win the MVP, because it was like, okay, it's starting to slowly come back. But the way the game is right now, it's exciting, but it's not as exciting as it could be. I'll say that.
I think players like Dame and Steph and even LeBron, to a certain extent, he had a logo 3 last night.
Yeah.
Players like that can do it because they are who they are.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like a player off the bench, like I saw Kristaps Porzingis take like a 30-footer yesterday.
Yeah.
Porzingis is good, but like, come on.
Yeah. It was like when Shea hit that logo 3 against the Lakers. He hit it, but I was like, why are you taking that shot? You're up by 3 or 2 right now against the Lakers. And you're pulling up from the logo?
I know people hit everything against the Lakers. I watch the Lakers all the time just because like I'm a huge LeBron fan. Like Maxi Kleber yesterday hits a bank shot, a bank 3 to tie the game with like 10 seconds or however much time was left in that game in overtime.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Austin Reeves, undrafted rookie.
Yeah, can we talk about those 2 games yesterday? Austin Reeves hits the last second 3. And then we got Shea hitting a ridiculous circus shot to take the lead.
To tie the game.
To tie the game, sorry.
And
then Devontae Graham. Second buzzer beater. Yeah. Second buzzer beater of the year for the guy. I love seeing him on the Pelicans. He was great leading into this year. He just didn't have too much
the Pelicans, though, as a whole.
Yeah, they're a disaster. They're a crap show. It's bad. It's bad over there.
Zion just got set back. Zion is on the road to being a bust.
Brutal.
And not because... I'm usually the type of person who says injuries doesn't make you a bust. So Greg Oden to me isn't a bust because he just got injured. That's out of his control. Derrick Rose, same thing. I wouldn't even call him a bust, really.
I wouldn't call him a bust.
He didn't reach the potential that he would have had if he didn't get injured.
For sure.
But somebody like Zion, he's been injured, but he's also not helping himself.
Yeah, literally.
It's just a matter of,
do you want it? Do you want this?
It's rumored that he's around 330 right now. I know Skip Bayless said he was. I know Skip Bayless isn't the most reliable person in the world, but he said he's around 310 from people he's talked to. Even if he's at 300.
Yeah, it's still too much.
Too much.
Take a page out of the Vladdy Guerrero handbook and lose some weight. It's bad. It's your job to be in peak physical form.
Just look at the history of people who are his size. Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Came in very overweight, had to lose weight, and then he became who he became with the Suns.
Shaq he didn't come in overweight, but he gained a bit of weight and had to lose weight.
Well, Shaq was good at
regardless
working or getting in shape as he played.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Kemp, same thing. He gained weight in his career. He got injured as well later on in his career. He just needs to lean down. I think if he's at 300 right now, I'd say 260.
275.
260 is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
To where he's leaned out a little bit, but still has the power that he has, and he can still play the way he's played, which is a powerful.
Yeah, because it's not even the fact that he'll be. Yeah, it's the nature of him being big is already we know this, but his explosiveness is what takes him to that next level, and he can't be explosive at 330 or even 310.
And even if he comes down on his knees at 300 and whatever pounds, even if he's 280, that's too much weight to come down on your knees.
Exactly.
Time after time, because that's the type of player he is.
If Ja Morant was half the weight of Zion that he is now, he would have broken knees and legs it's nobody's business.
See, he's a different story because he doesn't know how to land.
He does not know how to land. It's not. Someone needs to teach him, please, because he's gonna get hurt. But he has got hurt. Yeah, he's hurt right now. So, right before I went to the Raptors Grizzlies game. But on another note, I will want to ask this though. On another note, I just said that Steph Curry though, where do you think he ranks all time after breaking the record?
I still have him as the second best point guard of all time.
Me too.
Because the type of person that I am, I gravitate more towards the bigger facilitators. If I grew up in the 80s, I think Magic would be my favorite player.
Yeah,
If I grew up in the
me too.
90s, I think Penny would be my favorite player. 2000s, players like LeBron. And like other players.
Grant Hill, maybe.
Jason Kidd or
Oh, yeah.
even like Chris Paul. I know he's not big, but
Yeah.
he's a facilitator. I would put him maybe like the tail end of the top 10, maybe top 15.
Yeah, I definitely have him in the top 15.
Because really looking at it, like, I don't have a top 10 like off the top of my head. I'd have to like think about it and write it down, but I would say that's fair. Top 10, top 15.
Yeah. My top 5, like I think I have it down, but it's after that where it can kind of be interchanged. I think, yeah, he's definitely top 15. He can get a spot in the top 10. I think by the end of his career, he'll be top 10,
I think so, yeah.
Like, it should be pretty definitive.
I mean, he has a long time left. He's 33 right now. I think he's 33.
Yeah.
So I'd say he has about 4 or 5 more years left in him. Good years in him.
Could get a ring this year.
And he could even last longer than that because that shot's not going anywhere. He could just be a spot-up shooter if his athleticism does leave.
Yeah, he could literally just be a facilitating spot-up.
Yeah. And he doesn't rely on his athleticism like that anyways.
Yeah.
So, he'll be an effective player for a long time.
Yeah.
And if he does win another MVP, like if he wins the MVP this year, he'll have 3.
3 MVPs, yeah. I mean,
he has 3 titles.
I
mean, you can't really argue against him.
Yeah. And when people talk about this generation, it kind of goes like LeBron, KD, Curry. Curry's starting to make that argument that he could be better than KD. And I think it's going to take a couple accolades or a championship to solidify that. But it's there. Like, it's possible. Because before this season, it was like, okay, KD's probably the best player in the league, but he's always, kind of in LeBron's shadow, and then there's Curry. Curry's proving right now, like, he doesn't have Clay in the lineup. He's got a good Golden State team, but it's not crazy good. Like, they got good, solid depth. But he's playing out of his mind, and the way that the whole team's playing in general, like, it's clearly backing off of his leadership.
Mm-hmm.
It's really impressive. I don't know. I think if he wins a ring and he's the Finals MVP, and if he can win an MVP this year, I think that puts him over KD.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But KD very well could win the MVP as well. He could win the championship and the Finals MVP. I think that I just like that these guys, they're kind of at the tail end of their career a little bit. I mean, they're still in their prime, but we're gonna get a lot of good basketball out of these guys. A lot of great matchups. A lot more records are gonna be broken. It's gonna be really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like this is just the best time to be a basketball fan. It feels like maybe just because it's our time to be a basketball fan, but like
for me, I think the best time for me was probably like 2010 to 2016.
Yeah, like with Kobe and LeBron, Duncan's still there. Yeah,
I think that's because like when LeBron went to Miami, and that's really when I really started to watch sports.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was always like a LeBron fan, but I never really like watched sports like that.
That was like I didn't like basketball at that time because of the super team thing. But like I also like if I was a LeBron fan, I would have loved it. KD and Curry made me love basketball more. That kind of pissed me off when he went to the Warriors. That kind of made me hate it a bit. But the point we're at right now, there's no team that's like, okay, this team's definitively winning, and that's what I love when it's competitive. Like we have no idea who's going to win the NFL this year. You could say all the picks you want.
NFL.
What?
Win the NFL.
Win the NFL. Did I just say that?
Yeah.
Win in the NFL. But yeah, like it's incredibly competitive. Like the Bucks-Suns series, I absolutely love that. I never understood the idea that wasn't a great series because it wasn't expected or they had an easy.
Yeah, people are saying it's not a great matchup because of the markets.
Yeah, but it's like screw the markets. This is sports. This isn't Hollywood.
A basketball series was a great series.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Stephen A. I don't care where you have to do your show. If it's in Miami or if it's in Sacramento or if it's in Milwaukee. Do your show. That's your job. Enjoy it because you're covering basketball. It's like, come on. I don't care where you are. It kills me when they complain about that stuff. You're watching basketball. It's the finals. You got Giannis going up against Chris Paul who win his first championship. It's poetic. Yeah. We're hating on it. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me.
I love it, but
yeah. I'd rather have that than 2 teams playing each other 4 years in a row. But
I'm not gonna lie to you. If LA ever played New York in the finals,
oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Like I want it to happen, but I'm not gonna be pissed if it doesn't.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah, like I've wanted to see Penguins Blackhawks my whole life, but it didn't happen. It's fine. I'm still gonna enjoy it.
No, it didn't happen.
Never. I can't believe that didn't happen.
Because they won the Stanley Cup in what, 09?
09, 16, 15, and 16. Or no, 16, 17.
Blackhawks won in 2010.
13 and 15.
So
they were both like right there at the same time, but it It never happened. It was kind of like LeBron and Kobe. It just never. It was
Yeah.
always felt like it was about to happen, and then just something would get in the way.
They would make the whole commercial. Remember the commercial with the puppets?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that was a great commercial.
Yeah, those are all great.
Commercials have gotten better. Actually, no. I think they've gotten a lot worse.
No, they've gotten worse.
Like when I watch, not Red Zone, but when you watch like the Zone, a football game on its own, and those commercials come on, they're horrible. Like some of them they don't even know.
The
what
only
they
ones
are.
I can really remember off the top of my head are the Baker ones with Progressive.
Oh, those are great. Those are
like,
phenomenal. Progressive and Hulu and State Farm are like the three people who know how to make commercials these days, and the other two are like beer and cars. Everything else is horrendous. You either don't know what the commercial's about, or it's just a celebrity.
You don't know until the
reading off
end.
paper.
And it'll be like something like completely like I don't even know what it is. At the end, it'll just be a logo.
Yeah. It'd be like
What?
Sunny D. You're like,
Yeah.
what? How? It's like I'm Rob Gronkowski. It's like,
Yeah,
you seen
that's
that
for
commercial?
it's for an insurance
Dude,
company.
so bad. It's like, it's a bad look for the company, for Gronk, everybody. Brutal.
Yeah.
But speaking of brutal,
Yeah.
Urban Meyer finally been fired by
Yeah.
Jacksonville after weeks of deliberation and trying to figure out if he actually did what he did. I'm sure he did because he's clearly not the greatest man alive.
Yeah. Yeah, it was only a matter of time. I was actually surprised that they did it during the season. I thought they would wait until the season was over,
Oh, really?
but I'm happy they did it now.
It was the
Just get
smart
it over
move.
with.
Yeah.
They have a good enough replacement. Daryl
Yeah.
Bevel, he's been around.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing, so he'll carry it out for the remaining 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But I personally never thought this was gonna work.
I never got it. Like, it never
Yeah.
made that much sense. Especially because, like, right as he got there was already problems coming
Yeah.
up. It's like
Yeah.
you can't be problematic as a head coach in football, especially when you just got the first pick in the draft that year.
Mm-hmm. And it's just like you get Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to mess that up
It
because of
is.
how good of a prospect that he is. But he's somehow done it.
Yeah.
It started from the beginning when he signed Tebow. As soon as that happened, I don't know if we talked about it on here, but as soon as that happened, it was like, okay, what are you doing?
Yeah, what's going on here? You draft Etienne in the first round after you got James Robinson, who just had a phenomenal year.
Yeah, like Tebow, he wasn't around for long, but it showed clear favoritism.
Yeah.
He hasn't played football in 6 years,
Mhm.
or he hasn't been in the league in 6 years.
Yeah.
Uh,
He's been training baseball.
yeah,
You're
he
signing
played in
him as
the
a tight
minor
end.
leagues, and you bring him back as a tight end.
Yeah.
He's never caught a pass in his life, and it was evident when he played in
Yeah.
the preseason. Couldn't throw a block either. It's just an embarrassment. And then you have all the stuff coming out about Josh Lambo yesterday saying
Yeah.
that he kicked him.
Yeah, you kicked him. Apparently, it was a 5 out of 10 on the pain scale.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if it's any higher,
You don't-
Lambo had every right to beat him up.
Yeah, and he's lucky that he did it
Yeah,
to him, because if it
literally.
was anybody else,
Oh, my God. I'm sure that's why he did it, too. Like, if you did that to Josh Allen,
yeah.
he's going to end your life. Like, you don't do that.
Like,
I
you're
don't
trying
care.
to show your authority, but that's not how
That's
you do
not
it.
how you do it.
Like, you're trying to treat it like it's college.
Yeah, make him run suicides. Don't kick him. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Even suicides don't do anything for
They do
grown
nothing.
men.
Especially at the beginning of. I never understood that. It's doing suicides at the beginning of practice, so that everyone's tired to do the rest of the drills.
Yeah.
No wonder we're not doing the drills right. We're dead. Like, we just did suicides for a half hour.
No, but he's like trying to run Jacksonville like it's
Yeah.
a college.
Yeah.
When you have like 26-year-old dudes with like girlfriends or wives.
Yeah,
or
making
kids.
millions. Like, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, like when you're coaching somebody in college, they're trying to get to where that person is,
Yeah.
and that person's already there.
Mm-hmm.
He's making millions of dollars. He cares, but like he's not gonna let you
Push
treat
him around, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a
Just
grown
treat
man.
everybody
Like,
with respect.
Exactly.
And he obviously doesn't do that.
He doesn't do that.
When they lost to Cincinnati on Thursday night, he didn't fly back with the team. He stayed in Ohio. And then the video of him at the bar came out.
Oh yeah, like
It's just
It's
time
a
after
bad
time.
look.
He's just embarrassing that
Yeah,
franchise.
you're embarrassing the organization.
And I heard a lot of people talk about like Jimmy Johnson and how like his first year in Dallas, they went 1-15 with Troy Aikman. But like the difference is Jimmy Johnson's actually a good coach.
Yeah.
He's one of the greatest
He's
coaches
won
of all
games.
time.
Like,
He's
yeah.
one of the. I would even argue that he could be the greatest coach of all time because of how he turned around Dallas
Mm-hmm.
and how he won back-to-back Super Bowls. And his time was cut short because Jerry Jones doesn't know how to get out of his own way. he could have won 5 or 6 Super Bowls easily with the roster that he had built.
Incredible.
So, Urban Meyer, will he ever coach again?
Not in the NFL.
Not in the NFL. I mean, it's
not a starting job, at least, not a head coach job at least.
And he's not going to take a coordinator job because he's not a good coordinator. He's not a strategic coach.
Yeah.
He's not. That's where the Jimmy Johnson
he's not
comparisons came in, because I'll compare it to Arthur Smith. Atlanta hired him. He's an offensive-minded coach. He's an offensive coordinator in Tennessee. He's been an offensive coach on the offensive side of the ball pretty much his whole life, except for his first year in Washington where he was a defensive quality coach.
Yeah.
But he's an offensive mind. Somebody like Todd Bowles, when he was the head coach of the Jets, he's a defensive coach. He's going to handle the defense. Or Dan Quinn when the Falcons hired him. But Urban Meyer is not a defensive or offensive-minded coach.
No, he's not going to beat you with his football knowledge.
He's not a strategic coach. He's more of like a motivator, like a voice, sort of, kind of just like the head coach. Yeah. Which works in college, but that doesn't work in the NFL. No. Or it does work in the NFL, but you have to be good at it. And he's with grown. You need to know how to treat grown men. And he doesn't know how to do that because he's never done it before.
To be like a voice of the voiceless, for lack of a better term, you can't be kicking your kicker. Like it's like if you know you use your voice to motivate your players to make your team better, and you don't know how to use your voice to, authoritize yourself over players, then you're clearly not good at your job.
Just treat them like humans.
Yeah,
it's really not hard.
Being. You don't kick someone. It's not that's hard.
Yeah, it's not.
It's embarrassing, honestly.
Yeah, it really is
sad. But on that note, who would you look at for that head coaching job going into next season?
I would say 3 names: Byron Leftwich, Eric Bieniemy, and Kellen Moore from Dallas. I think Byron Leftwich is who I would go after if I was Jacksonville. One, because he knows the team. He played there for a few years.
And if you can gain the respect of Tom Brady, you can gain the respect of anybody.
He calls the plays in Tampa Bay. I think he'll help with Trevor Lawrence's development because, if we're just being honest, he's probably learned so much about or so much from Tom Brady just being around him
and watching him play.
And also being under Bruce Arians, who's been an offensive coordinator before. He's learned a lot in his time in Tampa Bay, so I think that would be good. Eric Bieniemy, I put him near the top as well because he's played a huge part in the development of Patrick Mahomes, and that's really the whole point of the next hire. It's to find somebody who can develop Trevor Lawrence because Trevor Lawrence is your franchise.
Yeah, he could be like one of the favorites too because just like Peterson and Nagy both got head coaching jobs off of coaching with the Chiefs, so Bieniemy's kind of next in line.
Well, he should have been next in line 3 years ago, but it's been 3 years and no one's hired him yet. So.
I think we kind of know why.
Yeah, but we're not going to get into
ridiculous.
That. But and I'd also say Kellen Moore, a younger coach. He's offensive coordinator in Dallas. Dallas is kind of struggling right now, but earlier on in the season, they were firing. I think
when they were all healthy, they were firing all cylinders.
Yeah, because I think right now, it's more Dak. I think he's still kind of injured.
And even Zeke's not playing that well.
Yeah, he's injured too. So earlier in the season, and even now you see like how creative Kellen Moore is. So I think he would be a decent hire.
Yeah,
I would go after Byron Leftwich or Eric Bieniemy though.
Yeah,
probably Leftwich.
Yeah, he's got a bit more experience, right?
Who, Byron Leftwich?
Yeah.
I don't know how long he's been in Tampa Bay, but I think he was a quarterbacks coach before.
Yeah,
I think he.
Who was it with?
But even in his later years, I think he went to Pittsburgh and he went all over the place.
Yeah.
But
wasn't Leftwich? Didn't he get drafted by the Jaguars, or was that Bieniemy?
No, he got
Leftwich. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Bieniemy played in the NFL. I know he played college football. I don't know if he played in the NFL. But Leftwich. Even he played the quarterback position, and even in his later years when he got to Pittsburgh or wherever he went, he was more of like a player coach than he was a backup. Which I guess is kind of the point of a backup quarterback in a lot of ways. But I think he'd be the best for Trevor Lawrence because he's played the position.
Yeah, he's
been around the greatest to ever play the position. He's learned from a guy in Bruce Arians who has been around for a long time, and he knows the game. So I think and he just came off a Super Bowl win, so he knows what it takes to get to that point. So
I feel like any of the three wouldn't be a bad move, but Leftwich seems like the primary candidate. Bieniemy would be great as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think the decision's that tough. Like obviously between like the three of them it would be tough, but outside of that there's not many names that's like Josh McDaniels. I couldn't see getting the job.
At this point, I don't think anybody should go after him at all because he left the Colts to dry. Like he agreed to a contract and jumped out. Even when he went to Denver, like I see, like I watch Undisputed. Shannon Sharp has said like people just don't like him.
Really?
Yeah, like he tries to be too much like Belichick.
Right. It's kind of like a Tortorella, where it's like guys just don't want to play for him.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
I mean, we've seen it with Matt Patricia. It's happened all the time with Belichick disciples.
Yeah.
But
like unless you're winning games like Belichick, you cannot act like Belichick. He is like the outlier of coaches.
Yeah.
Do your own thing, man. I wonder if his son will be like next in line. Yeah, dude. It kills me watching it because I even see like a video of like Belichick getting hyped and he's not, and his son's not. He doesn't care. Like he's like Belichick's like and he's like, like I couldn't imagine not having any joy whatsoever. Like I wonder if they definitely have joy, but they don't express it. I'll tell you that.
No, definitely not.
Are they just like not impressed by it?
I think I think that's part of it. Like that's what they expect. But
yeah, they expect excellence.
Yeah,
I guess it's like I hope at least by the end of his career he can like, I kind of have a smile on his face about it.
Belichick.
Like, yeah,
I saw when they beat the Bills, his post game speech in the locker room. He was smiling.
He was fired up.
He was smiling. Yeah.
He's he's definitely great. Like I always saw those like Randy Moss things when he's like, we got a Halloween party. You're gonna dress up. He's like, I'll make an appearance.
Yeah.
He's like, Randy Moss
Free
getting
candy,
all hyped.
You get to dress up. Who doesn't love that?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, Belichick would definitely like be one of, because you as like an athlete, you try to fool around with your coaches a little bit. He would definitely be the one you want to fluster the most, but he'd probably you have to do suicides in return or something. But
no, he's one of those people though that, like from what people have said, he doesn't build personal relationships with his players, which is kind of what drove Brady out because you know he was there for 20 years and he treated him like he was just 20 years old. Yeah,
just some backup quarterback. Yeah, Rob Gronkowski talks about it, like he'll like walk down the halls and buy Bill and he'll be like, hey Bill, and Bill will just walk right by him. Yeah, he does not care. You gotta respect it, but at the same time, it's like, come on.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're winning, I can't say anything towards you. You're winning games. Like you're winning games with a rookie quarterback and just signing a plethora of free agents. I think he's the greatest ever, but I think because like before Brady left, it was kind of up in the air of like, was it Brady or was it him? Like he's just showing now that it's like he is an incredible coach, just at every single level.
Yeah,
he's gonna find a way to win games no matter what, no matter who's playing, no matter who they're playing. It's incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
But on that note, I think the Patriots take the.
Oh, we're going to the AFC predictions now?
Because I've been thinking about it, and I want to say the Patriots take the AFC, but I think it'll be the Chiefs.
The Chiefs?
I think the Chiefs are just going to continue to win games, because it's definitely not going to be the Ravens. They got a tough schedule.
The Ravens may not even make the playoffs.
They might not.
They're in a tough spot, and they have a tough schedule.
Yeah. Because even, like, obviously, I mean, once again, you had more faith in the Browns. They beat the Ravens, but I would say, like, oh, yeah, Lamar got hurt. But before Lamar got hurt, he played 3 drives, and he couldn't get anything going on any of the 3.
He hasn't been playing well the last few weeks.
So, the injury is nowhere near a blessing in disguise. It's horrendous for the Ravens. And, like, they got to play the Packers, the Steelers, the Bengals.
Honestly, if he's not 100% healthy,
just keep him
out. Just keep him out.
Do what you're doing with DeAndre.
Yeah, you're not, like, half your roster's already injured.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just come to it's hard because you're like competing and you're at the top of your division, but like your long-term future is more important than these last couple of games. And I get you want to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think the only way you play him is like week 18. You need a win. That's it. Otherwise, Huntley will be sufficient enough.
I don't think so.
He's not going to win them games, but he'll be able to get you 200 yards maybe and a couple on the ground. He wasn't that bad against the Browns. They just stepped up defensively.
He's a backup quarterback. That's kind of what they do when they come in.
Oh, they simplify the system, yeah.
Yeah, and then they come in the next week. That's when they get exposed.
Yeah, and they're playing the Packers. They're going to get exposed.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's like, out of the backup quarterbacks in the league, I wouldn't put him in the bottom tier.
I would. Yeah, I don't even know who he is.
From what, like, in that game, from what I saw, he looked like he knew what he was doing. He didn't panic at any time. That last drive, like, the only time I really saw him in that entire game look really bad on a play was the last play of the game when he threw that, like, 2-yard pass that Denzel Ward just ate up. And that was, like, the one bad play. But he was able to come back in that game. get it to a 2-point game, and that totally blew that guy's parlay. Did you see that? Or not parlay, but put $330K, I think, down on the Browns winning.
Oh, it was 2.5.
Yeah, it was 2.5, and they won by 2.
That's
poor guy.
So
How do you not score? I will say. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The Browns' second half offense, when winning a game, is the worst in the league. They don't. It's like they're not trying to score. All they're doing is running out the clock. It's like it's the third quarter. Don't run out the clock now. Let's get a touchdown. Let's get a field goal.
Or they don't trust Baker.
Oh, it's definitely that they don't fully trust Baker. But the problem is Baker was playing great in the first half. Why are you not trusting him in the second half after he's just played really well? Like, it just... Stefanski's a great coach, but at times it's just like, what do you... Like, every game, it's like you know that establishing the run is going to get you a win. But then some games, they literally just won't run the ball. And that's all they need to do. Like, when they played the Chiefs, all they had to do was run the ball.
Yeah, in the playoff game, they didn't run the ball.
Yeah, it's like, it just... Sometimes, like, they know what they have, and yet they don't utilize it at times. Because you've said it before. Like, they got an incredible roster, but there's just so many pieces that they don't use, or to the extent that they can be used. But either way, the Ravens, it's going to be super tough for them to make playoffs. So I think either Chiefs or Patriots take the AFC. NFC, I think Packers are going to probably run away with it.
I think the NFC is going to be... It's all going to depend on matchups.
That's true. And
because if the Packers get the Bucks, I'm picking the Bucks.
In the playoffs or in the regular season? In the playoffs, I'd take the Bucks. Yeah. Regular season, I'd take the Packers.
Yeah. And if the Cardinals can somehow avoid the Bucks, I wouldn't be surprised if they made it to the Super Bowl. Like it's really? very dependent on matchups for me. And like the Niners, I feel like could make some noise, even though I don't think the Niners are a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
But if they play the Bucks in the first round, they're done.
Oh yeah.
The Bucks match up perfectly with them.
The 49ers, I fully agree with that. I think they can beat any team except for the Bucks in like the wild card round of the playoff.
Or maybe even the Packers. No, they could. I think they could.
They could beat the Packers. I wouldn't be.
They almost did.
Yeah. Like they have a really good line. I think it's just as far as Jimmy G can take them, really.
Yeah. Because, for the NFC, I don't want to make a pick. I want to wait till
the playoffs.
The playoff picture is set.
It's so tough right now. You really don't know. And then I'm curious. Do you think the Falcons really have a shot of making it? I'm pretty optimistic about the Falcons. I feel like we're the opposites.
I mean, I feel like
they
have a chance. Obviously,
yeah.
I think based off of analytics, if they win this week, their chances go up to 42% or something like that. But the only thing that scares me is that, like Washington, Philadelphia, they all have division games left.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think Washington's gonna have a tough time the rest of this year. And Heineke looked really bad this week.
Yeah, but then you have Philadelphia too.
Yeah,
they played Washington twice.
Mm-hmm.
So if Washington struggles, then
they're winning.
Yeah, so
you need them to split that.
I'd say no, unless they win out, and I don't expect them to win out. So I'll say no.
Who do they have? They
have 49ers this week, Lions, Bills, Saints.
They can. I think you got to split that. Saints game, I think they take. Bills won. Bills have been struggling.
It's on the road too, and Atlanta's a really good road team. So
yeah.
I don't know. Whether they do or not, I'm happy with how they played this season. They've taken a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
So, I don't think they're drafting a quarterback this year. It's just not a good enough class. I think they'll wait till next year. Just take the best player available, and I think they'll have a better roster next year. The cap is going up, so you can make some moves. We'll see. But
who would you, like, obviously not specifically anybody, but what position would you want to draft in the first round?
The best defensive player available.
Just anybody? Yeah. Hell yeah, their secondary's still pretty.
I mean, you have Terrell, who should be a Pro Bowler. He should be an All-Pro. I'm saying it right now. He should be an All-Pro.
I agree.
And then you just need somebody on the other side.
Yeah.
We're in Toronto. Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But yeah, the best defensive player available, and then just kind of just build it out. I want them to take a receiver at some point too.
Yeah, definitely need a receiver.
Yeah, maybe a guard or something, but we'll see. Should be fun.
Yeah, that's tough.
I think that's a good place to wrap up.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below, and we'll see y'all next week. Take it easy.
Stay well.
Peace.